This video goes over how to evaluate expressions involving order of operations with integers. So if you recall, our order of operations is going to be our brackets first, exponents next, let's write it this way, division and multiplication in the order they appear. And finally, addition and subtraction in the order they appear. Okay, so let's work through some examples. So here I've got 25 take away -6 divided by 3 in brackets. As soon as I see those brackets, that is the first operation that I'm going to do. When you are evaluating the order of operations, especially now, right at the beginning of the course, I do expect you to show all your steps. As we continue on, I won't need you to show as many. Anything that you don't evaluate needs to be written in the line below the question. So 25 and the minus, I'm not doing anything with that. I'm going to write that down first. The next thing that I'm looking at is -6 divided by 3. Those have different signs, so my answer is going to be negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2. The next thing that I'm going to identify here is that now I have a double sign. Those are the same. I can replace it with one positive sign. Now my question is 25 plus 2, same sign, keep the sign, and add the integers. Let's look at another example here. I've got -12 divided by -6, that's a division operation, and then I'm taking away -5 times -2. Those two operations I can do at the same time. They are separated by a subtraction sign. So the first one that I'm going to do is -12 divided by -6. So I've got two negatives, so my answer is going to be positive. 12 divided by 6 is 2. My subtraction sign in the middle is going to stay. I haven't done anything with that. And then I'm going to evaluate the second part of my expression. So -5 times -2. Those numbers are the same. I'm going to replace them with a positive sign and multiply the numbers. And then just like in example A, I now have a double sign that I can replace with one negative sign, which changes my expression to +2 minus 10. My signs are different. I'm going to keep the sign from the larger number and subtract. Example C, again, we're getting a little bit more complicated here. I've got 24 divided by -10 -2 in brackets, and then multiplied by 4. This right here, because it's in brackets, that is the first operation that I'm going to do. So I haven't done anything with the 24 and the divide. I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to evaluate what's in the brackets. -10 -2. I'm going to keep the sign and add the numbers, giving me -12. And then I'm going to multiply by 4. Now the two operations that I have left are division and multiplication. Going back to my BEDMAS chart, I know that I can do those at the same time in the order that they appear. So here I will do 24 divided by -12 is going to give me -2. And then I'm going to multiply by +4, which gives me a final answer of -8. Example D, similar sort of question. 3 times 5 -12. That operation is in brackets. That is the one that we need to do first. And then I've got +14 divided by 2. So let's go ahead and evaluate that operation in brackets. 5 -12 is going to give me -7. Now I've got +14 divided by 2. Looking kind of like our example that we did in B, we have a multiplication and a division separated by an addition sign. So what we can do is both multiplication and division at the same time. Minus 21 plus 7. And then we can finish that evaluation. Minus 21 plus 7. I'm going to keep the sign from the larger number and subtract, giving me an answer of minus 14. Our last couple of examples here. I've got 4 times minus 3, divide by minus 2, minus 5. So let's go ahead and do our multiplication and our division in the order that they appear. So 4 times minus 3 gives me minus 12. Divide by minus 2. And I'm still going to leave that minus 5 at the end. So here I've got minus 12 divided by minus 2. Signs are the same. That's going to give me 1 positive. And then I've got minus 5. Before I finish evaluating, what I'm going to notice is that I've got a double sign here. It's the same. I can replace it with 1 positive sign, which changes my question to 6 plus 5, which I can then evaluate as positive 11. Example F. Now I'm adding a new wrinkle here. We've got an exponent. We still need to do our brackets first, so let's go ahead and do that subtraction. 5 minus 8 is minus 3 squared plus 15. Next on my list is to do the exponent. So I've got 2 times minus 3 squared, which is minus 3 times minus 3, which is going to give me positive 9. Next on my list is to do the multiplication. 2 times 9 is 18 plus 15, which is going to give me 33. Last two examples are extra exciting. This one has a fraction line, which does mean divide by, but in order to do this, you first have to evaluate what's on the top, evaluate what's on the bottom, and then bring everything together by dividing. So on the top, we've got minus 3 times 2, which is minus 6 plus 16. On the bottom, we've got 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Finishing evaluating our top is minus 6 plus 16, which is 10, divided by 5. And then our final step is to do that division. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. Example H has another exponent, but no brackets. Doesn't matter, we still need to do that exponent first according to our order of operations. So we've got 2 take away 9, which is 3 squared. I'm going to keep the sign from the larger number and subtract, which gives me minus 7. Those are some examples of how to do order of operations with integers.